Okay, Human Garage fam, tonight we're going to do fascial maneuvers for arms, torso, the organs in the torso, and the legs. So we're going to take a moment and check in. Just see what we notice in the body. We know that when we do a fascial maneuver for one area of the body, that it also will affect other areas as well. So when we're working on wrists, elbows, and shoulders, we may also notice it in the hips, knees, and ankles. So starting with a maneuver called twisty wristy, I'm going to have you place your left hand out in front of you. With your right hand, take your fingers and just pull those left fingertips back towards you. So driving pressure up into the forearm of that left arm. I can feel that building there. And bring your arm over your head, bend your elbow, and we're going to lock that elbow in place at the ribs. Okay, so now we're driving pressure up into the shoulder. And the first time you do this, it may feel a little intense. So if it feels intense to you, this is normal. Go ahead and rotate the fingers outward. We're going to take the foot behind you. So take your left foot and put it behind you. We're going to squat a little bit. Rotate the head slowly to the right, body to the left, and let's breathe 6 times in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Ooh. Slowly come back up. As you release the fingers on the wrist and the arm, it may feel like it doesn't belong to you for a few moments. That's totally normal. You can just shake it off. Notice how that feels in the body, and just take a little walk. And your invitation is to check in and see, how does it feel differently from the left side to the right side? What do you notice? Do you notice that the left side feels tingly or warmer? Does it feel lighter? How does that feel? Let's do the other side to balance this out. So take your right hand out in front of you. With your left hand, you're going to bend the right fingers back towards you, driving all that pressure into the forearm. Bring your arm overhead, lower your elbow to your ribs, rotate those fingers outward. There we go. Ooh, I like to just sometimes take a moment and be in this space because it can feel intense, but like leaning into the intensity can sometimes actually feel good. Okay, take your right foot behind you, come into a squat. Slowly rotate your head to the left, body to the right, and let's breathe. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, slowly rotate back to center. Let your arm and your hand go. Let's take a little walk and see what you notice now. Do you notice more of a balance in both sides? Do you notice more lightness on either side? See what you notice. Next one we're going to do is called wrist release. And this is great because I had a broken wrist a year ago on my right side. And this actually, the last maneuver and this maneuver actually helped me get the last bit of rotation back that I couldn't have before. So you take the right hand out in front of you. We're going to grab it. Grab the right wrist with the left hand. Okay. You're going to slowly rotate outward with the hand that's grabbing the wrist, and your fingers and your right hand are going to rotate inward. So you've got this counter rotation. Now, this can also feel intense, especially if you have trouble with giving help on the right side. If we have trouble with giving and receiving, then the wrists can have additional tension in them that can feel intense. And that's coming up for me a lot right now, which is really crazy. And it's perfect. And this is the point of doing this work. So once you have that counter rotation, you're going to pull your hand through like you're pulling on a glove. So now we've got pushing and pulling with the hand through the arm and the rotation and counter rotation, and we're going to breathe. And just move around and look for the line of tension. Just I'm looking for the most intense part, which comes and goes. And when I find it, I kind of sway into it and breathe. And then I find another one. And slowly let that go. Ooh. That wrist was broken twice in my life. So through these maneuvers, we're getting a lot of additional blood flow as the fascial adhesions are breaking up. It's creating more space in the body. So see what you notice from one side to the other. Let's balance out to the left side. So placing your left hand out in front of you, palm facing up. You're going to grab the left wrist with the right hand and rotate the skin. Oh man. Wrists tonight are really fun. I'm going to rotate the skin outward. And just do your best. Rotate the hand inward. And I recently just learned on the coaching Zoom, it was put beautifully that we're going to pull the hand through and breathe. That when we address the physical issues, which tend to be the last ones to show up, the emotional ones can come to the surface. So while the pain or intensity I'm feeling in my wrist maybe at a 6 or a 7, all of a sudden it feels like an emotional pain. So I'm going to go slower and more gentle with this side. See what you feel in your body. And then release. Beautiful. Okay. The next one for the arms class is elbow torque. And so we are going to take your right hand, place it on your right shoulder. This is so fun. These ones, elbow torque and overhead elbow torque, are one of my favorite ones to do because, again, you can work on just your elbow and it can free the knees, the hips, fascially, the ankles, especially with overhead. It's so awesome. Take the palm of your hand, place it on your elbow, rotate the skin outwards. And actually, if you want to play around with this a little bit and see, because everybody is different, try rotating the skin inward and just looking for which way is tighter. So for me, and actually most people will find that it's tighter if you rotate it out, and inward feels looser. So I'm going to go with outward. And then from here, we're just going to breathe. You can take a foot behind you if you want. It's okay to make these maneuvers your own. And just feel what you feel. This is your invitation and your time to feel your body as sensation moves through it. And we're going to come up and move into overhead elbow torque. So you still have the rotational lock on the outside of the elbow. We have it, the skin is rotated outward. Your hand is on the shoulder. We're just going to take that elbow overhead. Take your right foot behind you, cross it behind you. Stand over here so you can see. And then slowly lean to the left. Turn your head to the right. We're going to free all that right side of the body and all the organs together. Let's breathe. After 6 breaths, we'll come up. I have lots of shoulder and elbow clicking, and let's take a walk after this. And what we're doing with this one is, as we're locking the elbow, the wrist, and the shoulder, and then also pinning this side, we're opening all of this side of the body so the breath can all go in here. So you may notice release in the hips. You may notice that it's easier to breathe. This is going to release fascially anything that needs to be released along this side. So think you've got liver over here, you've got lungs, kidneys, down into the hip. Let's do the other side. Okay. Left hand on left shoulder. Grab your elbow and rotate it out. Take your left foot behind you. And let's just move around and breathe. I'm actually going to take my other foot behind me. My body wants to move this way now. And let's go straight into overhead elbow torque. Take your arm up over your head, standing with your feet hip width apart. You're going to lean to the right. Just push that left hip all the way out. Turn your head up to the left. And let's breathe. Six breaths or more. Slowly release. My shoulders, my elbows, my wrists have all released. Let's go ahead and walk. Woo. So you may notice like clicking and crunching in different joints as the fascial adhesions are separating and freeing. It's bringing more movement, bringing more fluid. My hips kind of want to move. Ooh, this is great because we're going to do the psoas release next. So this is great that my hips are like warmed up. So while this is called the psoas release, right? What we're actually doing is we're freeing the ileocecal valve, which is the connection between the small and large intestine. This can sometimes get blocked with chemicals in the food, air, and water. Glyphosate is a big one with this. And so let's find this tender spot by going fingers to your belly button, and you're going to go 2 inches over to the right, about 1 inch down. Now everybody's body is different, so just have a feel around for a tight spot. Ooh, yeah, it might feel like a little bit burny when we do this, and that's normal too. So I'm gonna have you press in when you find that tight spot. Feels like a little button sometimes. And then you can rotate the hand so your right hand is like a thumbs up. Take the opposite leg out in front of you. Left leg, take a step forward. You'll lean back. And you know you've got it when you feel like a pulling down into your right hip. Lean your head back. I'm going to take 2 hands on there, and we're going to breathe together. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly come back up. Definitely walk around after this and then get a sense of what do you notice in the right hip compared to the left? How does it feel differently? Do you feel more heat? Do you feel more release? Does it feel looser? Just kind of rotate around, see how that feels. Let's do the other side. This is going to help more on the small intestine side. Ooh. This is good. Really helping free up all the hips, working on the shoulders and then the psoas release. This is fantastic. So you're going to go ahead and take your your 2 hands, place them on your belly button, move 2 inches over to the left. You're going to go about 1 inch down. And again, you're going to look for that tight spot and press into it. And when you find that, press in. I like to rotate that right hand to a thumbs up. Take your right foot out in front of you, take a step forward, lean back. I can feel that pull down into my left hip. So when you feel that pull into your left hip, you know you got it. It might feel like it's burning or tearing. This is the fascia releasing. It can feel intense. This is part of the release. So go ahead and lean the head back and let's breathe. 2. And you can move around as you go. 3. Move into what feels good. 4. Or lean into those lines of tension. 5. I feel that releasing in the tailbone now. And 6. That's the beautiful thing about working on fascia. You can work on one area of the body, and the body's intelligence knows exactly the order of things that need to be released. So I actually felt like a whole sacrum fascial release from that, which I haven't had that experience before with this. So there we go. Okay, now we're going to do belly button torque. I love this one so much. I love doing this with my children as well too. So you're going to take the pads of your fingers and you're going to press them with your right hand. You're going to press it into the belly button. And you want to spend a little bit of time here. Push in really, really hard until you feel like you kind of hit a wall and then like there's pressure building. And the pressure will start to build up to a certain point. And when you get to that intensity, it's about 80%, where it's like, ooh, the pressure's building. You're going to rotate this hand to the thumbs up. Okay, so keep that tension if you have it. I'm going to show you again. Press your fingers into the belly button. My thumb is, right now, my thumb is pointing this way. I'm going to press in, rotate so that it's like a thumbs up. With this hand, you're going to grab exactly the same spot, but behind. And we're going to rotate thumbs down. And we're going to hold that tension in the front belly button. And we're going to hold that rotation in the back. And now we're going to breathe. Go ahead and pull in that spinal pelvic lock so that the belly button is pulled into the spine. And kind of like you're pulling your pelvic floor up. You can move around if you need to. I like to sway a little bit. Just see where I feel the most tension and hold that. Kind of the minimum number of breaths for this is 6. But you could hold this for even up to 3 minutes. Okay, go ahead and release. And walk. This is a powerful one because this area connects us to our parents, specifically mom. And so if you have a favorite affirmation, like I forgive my mom, I forgive you, Mom. That's a really powerful one to do while you're holding this. Because I mean, even if you have a great relationship with your parents or your mom, generationally, there may be some history there. Somebody in your lineage may not have had a great relationship with their mom. And so we're working with the vibration of the words on the cells, and that can help clear things ancestrally. My ankles are rolling now. This is awesome. A lot of wrist work. Okay. Solar plexus torque. The solar plexus torque is the similar principle to what we just did with the belly button torque. Because the solar plexus represents the area of the body around personal power. If you're working with someone, if somebody has had an experience where they have maybe had their boundaries violated or personal power taken away from them, this can be a really tender area. It can bring up a lot of emotion too. And so if you notice emotion rising while we're doing this fascial maneuver, this is a beautiful thing because it means that the body is releasing old hurts, and we don't want to hold on to that anymore. It's a beautiful thing. But just to prepare you in advance, it can be, any of these maneuvers can be intense emotionally too, because physical and emotional, they're interchangeable. And so let's do the maneuver and see what happens, okay? I'm having lots of shoulder releases too. That's cool. So you can take your right hand. I'm going to place it just kind of where the ribs meet. You have the rounded part of your ribs. And most people have a little bone that comes down here. It's the xiphoid process. And so kind of where your ribs meet up here, you're going to push in. And I can feel that pressure driving up already. And I feel a lot of gurgling. I can feel gallbladder gurgling already. And that will often happen as the organs are out of stress. There could be like gurgling, could be yawning, things like that happening as your body gets into more of a parasympathetic state. So go ahead and press into the solar plexus. I can already feel that there's some intensity coming up for me. I felt a little hesitant. It's okay. I'm gonna rotate the thumb up. Whew, this is a good one right now. This also helps release the respiratory diaphragm. And then we're going to take the left hand directly behind, and we're going to rotate that down. And the minute I did that, I felt that pressure up into my head. So let's breathe. Let's bring in that spinal pelvic lock. And we're going to move around and breathe. And for this, you breathe at your own pace. Again, 6 breaths is the minimum. Okay. Sometimes you get to this point in the maneuver where you just feel that release, and then you know, okay, I'm done. So we'd love to know your experience with that, what you're noticing. Okay, now we're going to do lower body. So I'm actually going to bring my notes that show the list and what it is we're covering over to my table. And I'm going to speak up a little bit, so hopefully you can hear me. Oh, before we do lower body, just kidding. Before we get into the lower body, let's do one more organ release in the torso. This is the bladder release. So again, you're gonna locate your bladder, which is when you find the pelvic pubic bone, just feel around. It's a little bit higher up, okay? So you've got your pelvis, you've got the pubic bone here. A little bit higher up is the bladder. We're going to stand with feet shoulder width apart. You're going to engage your spinal pelvic lock. You're going to press into the bladder, add some torque. If you need to, lean back a little bit. I'm actually just using one hand with this. I got it. Now we're going to take the other hand behind on the sacrum. Sacrum is the set of bones directly below the lumbars, below your lower back. Sacrum goes into the tailbone. We're going to grab onto the sacrum, which is directly behind the bladder. We're going to rotate that down. If you've had tailbone falls, you may notice a release from this. And we're going to breathe. Keep that spinal pelvic lock in. And just kind of move around with what feels good. But when you're finished, you can slowly let that go, and let's take a walk. And just see what you notice. Notice what you notice. I can feel like a rush of fluid into the sacrum area. Go around this way a little bit. Taking the tension off the bladder can be really, really helpful. Little kiddos, if they have, bedwetting issues and stuff like that, taking that tension off the bladder can help relieve that. Okay, how are we feeling? We're going to go over to the table and I'm going to demonstrate some lower body fascial maneuvers. So, first one we're going to do is one that I'm still working on. I'm still working to master this. And this is the hip release. And so our hips can be really tight, especially from a lot of sitting, a lot of using one side, a dominant side over the other. Driving is a great example of that. So we're gonna lay all the way down. You can lay on a table like this if you have one. You can do this on your bed. You can do this in the car if you need to, not if you're driving. You can do this on a yoga mat. I'm going to take the right foot, cross it over the left, and then reach for your ankles. You're going to pull your knees towards your body, and you're going to reach for your ankles. I'm going to pull my head up to do this. Now, when we're in this position, if it feels really awkward or challenging or uncomfortable, you can modify it or make it work for your body. Every body is unique. So you can grab the shins if that's more appropriate for you. You can grab the knees if you want a different feeling to it. So grab where your body feels like it needs you to hold. We're going to bring the knees into the chest and the head up to the knees. And my head wants to turn to the right because that's the tighter way. We're going to turn to the right. You can play with that yourself and see if that works for you as well. And we're going to breathe 6 times. 2. You can pull on the ankles towards you to bring your knees in more if you need to. That feels really good to do right now, actually. 4. 5. 6. Slowly lower back to the table or the floor or the yoga mat with your head. Bring your feet flat on the table again. Take a breath to recalibrate. That is a very simple, but it can be a very intense fascial maneuver to do. This can actually help with if there's rotation in the hips or the pelvis. So I'm going to get up and walk before we work on the legs. Everyone's going to sleep really well tonight. I can actually tell now if I've had a busy day and it becomes like time to wind down for the night, my body is like, nope, you can't go to bed yet. You haven't done your fascial maneuvers. Because it's like my body wants to move. And if I've been like mom or homeschool or work so much, I haven't moved my body enough. I sleep so much better when I do this. Okay. Now we're gonna work on, let's do the knees. The knee torque is next. So you can do this sitting like this. You can also, like if you're sitting in a dining room chair, you can sit with your feet flat on the ground as well. You can also play with it, like sometimes I'll just be sitting and I'll just hold. But this is I'm learning that this is a fascial maneuver that is very subtle and can affect a lot of change if you sit and are patient and hold it for a long time. My feet are already, I can feel my calves and my ankles are already like, me next, please. Okay. It's all connected. So you're gonna sit, take your hands, place them on your knees, just let your fingers dangle over your kneecaps. And you're gonna rotate, kind of like you're giving a thumbs up on both sides. We're gonna rotate, nope, just kidding. We're gonna rotate externally. So you're bringing the thumbs down. Because when I go up, it's looser. So grabbing the knees, grabbing the skin, which is the, the fascia underneath. And you're gonna rotate, and we're gonna hold, and we're gonna breathe. And because the fascia is rotated and like a spiral through our whole body, creating this rotation on the knees can actually unwind all the way up the spine if we sit long enough. And again, the 6 breaths is about the minimum. But if you can sit with this for 1 to 3 minutes, just see what you notice. I can feel that in my hips already unwinding. Okay. My body wanted to keep going, but for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna move on. Take a little walk. Actually, let's walk a different way this time. I got some more spring in my step. Okay, so that was called knee torque. So now we're gonna do the shin, calf, and hamstring releases. And we're gonna do shin, calf, and hamstring release on one leg, on the right leg. And then we're gonna do shin, calf, and hamstring release on the left leg. And when we release the shin, it's releasing the fascia all the way down the ankle and down the top of the foot. When we do the calf release, you're getting into that Achilles tendon and into the heel, releasing there. And it's actually helping on a lot of other levels too, because you've got that whole posterior chain of fascia that it's releasing. So you notice what you notice with your own body. And then when we get into the hamstring release, it's going to help release a lot of tension from behind the knee, which can also free the front of the knee. And so if you spend a lot of time sitting, this can be really beneficial for that. So here we go. We're gonna do the shin release first. You're gonna interlock your fingers. You're gonna place it on your shin. This is on your right leg. And you're gonna grab that skin and you're gonna pull it up towards the knee. And you're gonna lean back a little bit. So your leverage isn't so much work like this. You're gonna grab that skin and fascia and lean back. And then raise your foot. And you may feel this like burny, teary sensation all the way down the top of your ankle, down into your toes even. I can feel this down the whole top of my foot, down on my toes. I'm gonna get a better grip here. Try that again. And then we're just gonna move around and breathe. And you can move the whole leg if you want. You can roll the ankle all the way around. You can roll this way, you can roll that way. And we're gonna breathe. I'm getting a little bit of a toe cramp there. Some fascia's releasing in the toes. You can point the toe. You can pull the toe back towards the head. Roll that all the way around. And let that go. Okay. So moving on to the calf release. Interlock your fingers. Similar principle, but we're going to do this on the bottom. You're going to interlock your fingers, place it on your calf just above your ankle on the back of your leg. And then you're going to interlock that, the fingers around the skin, pulling the skin back towards the knee. Lean back, get some more leverage, more tension that way. And we're going to breathe and we're going to move. So you can roll the foot around like this. You can rotate the foot and ankle the opposite direction. You can point the toe. You can point the toe towards your nose. I'm actually having a cervical adjustment right now. You can feel that all the way up. That is so cool. And release. Let that go. Okay. Up next, hamstring release. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll do the other side. Interlock your fingers behind the knee, but above the knee on the hamstrings. Grab that skin, pull it back, straighten the leg, lean back, and we're going to breathe and move. Need to go a little bit higher. There we go. Okay. And for the sake of time, instead of just integrating, moving around, actually no, we aren't going to skip this part. We're going to stand up and we're going to walk around. We're going to notice how the right side feels lighter than the left side. My right side feels completely different. There just seems like this whole flow. It just feels completely integrated all the way through, and this one does not. So let's do the left side together. And I'm going to face this way. So we're going to do calf release first. So on the skin, interlock your fingers, shin release first. Interlock your fingers on your shin, just above the ankle. Pull the skin back. Lean back. Stretch the foot out. Rotate. I gotta get a better grip here. This will happen sometimes too. Just adjust it as you need to. And I can feel that pulling skin feeling that's wrapping all the way along the front of my foot. And we're just gonna move and breathe. Does one side feel tighter than the other? Do you need to point or flex the toe? When you're ready, let that go. Okay. calf release. Interlock your fingers on the calf, so behind the ankle this time. We're going to release that Achilles tendon down to the heel. And we're going to interlock the fingers, place them behind the heel, just above the ankle. Grab the skin, pull it back towards the knee, lean back, lift the leg, and breathe and move. Now just notice, do you find that one side is tighter than the other when you move your toes one way or the other? You point the toe, point and flex. Getting some good releases, pulling the toes back towards the nose. And let that go. Okay, one more on this side before we move on to the ankle release. So let's do the hamstring. Interlock your fingers. Place them on the hamstring, so behind the knee and a little bit above. So you're not in the knee pit, you're a little bit above it. And you're gonna grab that skin, pull it back towards your hip, straighten the leg, lean back, and we're gonna move. And this one's to twist. We're just moving and breathing. Lower the leg. Slowly stand up. Let's take a walk. See what you notice. Okay. Woo. Clicky, clicky. I had bunion surgery on both feet. And I'm feeling just like releases all the way in those big toes right now. That is cool. Okay. And lastly tonight, we're going to do ankle release. So your left leg is going to be straight out in front of you. I'm going to take your right leg, cross it over your left knee. So you can get at, oh, I got my garden toes. You can get at your ankle. So now take your left hand and place it on the ankle, just above it actually. You're going to grab your ankle. Your right hand, you're going to go just above, and I kind of grab it around, so you've got one on one side, one on the other. And what we're going to do is we're going to counter rotate. So we're going to grab the skin. The left hand is going to rotate outward. The upper hand, the upper hand. The right hand is going to rotate inward. There we go. Find a spot there we go. That works. And once you have that counter rotation, we're going to breathe and move the ankle. And we're just going to breathe together. And if you want to move it around, you can. And we're going to do 6 breaths. Now, we're going to switch sides as far as like keeping your hands in the same spot. Now you're going to take that lower hand, the left hand, and you're going to pull the skin back towards you. And the right hand is going to rotate out. So before we were like this, now we're like this. Okay, counter rotating the fascia around the ankle. And breathe 6 times, in through the mouth, out through the mouth. let that go. Okay. Notice what you notice in difference. Let's do the other side. Sitting on the floor or on your table or on your mat, your right leg is straight out in front of you. Your left leg, cross over your knee. Take your right hand, place it above the ankle, kind of on the ankle but a little bit above. Get a good grip. Get a grip. Take your left hand and you're going to, like I have my hand like this and then my thumb like this. So I'm going to grab the other side of my ankle. And the right hand is going to rotate the skin away from me. And the left hand is going to rotate the skin towards me. So we've got that counter rotation. I'm going to go down here actually, a little bit lower. There we go. You'll know the spot. And once you have that counter rotation, we're going to lock that in place and we're going to breathe 6 times in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Breathe in. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Now switch directions with your hand, bringing the lower hand, the right hand, rotating it towards you, and the right hand on top, the upper hand, the left hand rotating away from you. And breathe. 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. Okay. Let that go. Come up. And to integrate all the amazing work that we've done tonight, we're going to take a last walk in a figure 8 if you can. And then just take a moment and let's check back in. And if you remember at the beginning of class where you noticed pressure, tension, discomfort in the body, just check back in with the body now and see what you notice. What's different? Do you feel more peaceful? Do you feel like your mind is quieter? See what you notice. And know that this feeling of peace and freedom is available to you anytime you want. And thank you for being in my class.